Hey guys, Virus here. So, I wanted to give you a sneak peek on the new generic resource system, or GRS for short, how we call it. Uh, Here I will show you how easy it is to work with, and how modular it is. So let's get to it. Uh, I'll give you an example of implementing one thing that many people really want to have in the game. So let's create a physical supply crate, and with that new system, it is really kind of 5-minute task. So first, let's create a new blueprint-based actor, and let's call it BP supply crate. Okay, so now let's add a static mesh component to it, so it will have visual representation in the world. Let's make that static mesh component root and assign it a proper mesh. Let's say that one will do. Now we need to configure it to simulate physics and also to replicate. And also we would want to set the actor to be replicated and also for it to replicate movement. So what else? First, we need to add SQ team interface to our actor. So like other actors, like vehicles, for example, will be able to determine if this actor is friendly and if they should be able to use resources from it. So let's set a variable for a team ID. We have a special enum for that called ESQ_team. Let's set it team, name it team, and make it instance editable so we can edit it on the instance. Now we go to that get team ID function and basically convert that to int and then return the team ID here. Well, now next thing we need to do is add a trigger collision that will overlap with stuff like vehicles, so they will be able to determine if they're close enough to be able to use its resources. So let's set a radius for something like 10 meters, and also we need to set its collision profile to something that overlaps with vehicles. For example, capture zone will do just fine. Okay, and now to the good stuff. Now here I'm adding BP resource storage local component. It is a local storage that hold resources in itself. That's why it is called resource storage local. We have another resource storage proxy, but I will hold off telling you about that. So what we need to do here is we'll set the burst type for it for fob. Well, we actually have an object, but for the sake of demonstration, I'll use the fob because I already have some transfer rule tables that define basically these tables define rules like from which types of resource storage to which you can send the resources. So like you can using these you can define like you cannot transfer resources like from capture zone to vehicles or from capture zone to fobs, or you cannot transfer resources from fob to fob, or vice versa. You can set it to be the opposite. So you will be able to transfer resources between fobs directly, for example. And here's the juicy stuff. We have this storage slot array. So we adding a new storage slot and setting its capacity to something like 3000 and adding the available resource types that could be stored in that specific storage slot. And here I'm adding ammo and construction. And I'm setting the default values for it like 1500 both. So it will be like 50-50 distribution here. And that's pretty much it. Now, for sake of demonstration, I have a British Logi truck, and it also have almost exact same component. And for the sake of demonstration, I've zeroed it out, so this Logi will spawn empty. It won't have any resources. So I'm gonna just place that ammo, that supply crate, and I need to not forget set its team. So the vehicle will recognize it as a friendly thing, and we'll be able to use its resources. So what I'm gonna do now is just play and show you how it works. Okay, so as you can see, the vehicle is indeed empty, right? Like, I can preview. I've dropped a grenade, and I cannot rearm it because there's insufficient ammo here. So what I'm gonna do is take that Logi and drive it closer to the supply crate. So what I'm gonna do here is, hey, check this out. I can actually load these supplies into the vehicle, so do exactly that. Okay, 1500 construction. 1500 ammo. So, hey, we got a full Logi of supplies here. We just loaded those supplies from the supply crate, right? And we can load them if we want back to the supply crate. Also, the neatest thing is that this supply crate, it is still a physical object, right? So I can just toss it around. Like a football. And if I drive back, see, there is no supply drop point nearby. But if I drive closer, hey, I already can unload supplies into it or from it. So yeah, for sure it needs some additional UI work to indicate that we're close enough to the supply crate, but it is kind of out of the scope of this sneak peek video. I just wanted to show you how easy it is to add resource carrying capabilities to virtually any actor in the game. You can use that system to create like physical supply crates dropped off the helicopter Logi. You can create commander supply drop action. You can spawn hidden resource caches on the map, etc., etc. You just limit it by your imagination. And even more to it, the resources themselves are actually just the data assets now. So as you can see, right? So if you want, you can just create your own new resource type and call it whatever you like rest type fuel, for example, right? And we'll let's yeah, nice. Fuel is blood, right? And the neat part about it is that every game system that uses resources will be instantly aware and support those custom resources and currencies that you will create. So, like for example, we can get an assault rifle or a machine gun, like for example this one, right? And we can define its rearm cost to use something else, like not an ammo. We can set it to be using fuel or tickets or construction points or whatever you like, or even combination of those. So, an example, you can create a weapon. Um, for example, you can create custom multiple custom resources. Like you can divide ammo into two types, like 7.62 ammo and 5.56, right? And you can define that certain weapons will be able to rearm only with using certain round type. And you can attach the resource storage component, like for example, to the squad state object, and then award the some special custom currency for certain actions that the squad leader will be able to spend for something. And by the way, the upcoming Commander Resource Points system, not the system, more like a feature, will be using that new generic resource system. There will be just a resource storage attached to the team state object, and the server rule set will put in the new currency into that storage as a reward for certain team activities, and CEO will be able to spend them on the tactical support actions and whatnot. Well, as I said, possibilities are literally endless and limited only by your imagination. I hope you liked what I had to show you. Stay tuned. Virus out.